Hey, I wanted to come on and share some thoughts about the student loan forgiveness and not so much the details of the student loan forgiveness itself, of like, all the nuances of it, but but some of the sentiments that have been shared about those who are receiving or eligible to receive the student loan forgiveness. And one of those thoughts has been about it being unfair that, you know, they had somebody had to pay off their loan and work really hard to get it paid off, and it's not fair that now some people will be eligible to receive, this $10,000 or up to $20,000 in student loan forgiveness. And so I just wanted to share some thoughts on this mindset of that being unfair. First of all, in life, there will always be some things that are unfair. Okay, so like there will always be something that's a little bit off, a little bit unfair. It benefits somebody else but doesn't benefit you, or benefits you and doesn't benefit somebody else. So there will always be things about being unfair. Okay, so and a lot of times, especially with things like this, we don't have control over that. We don't have control over those circumstances, but what we do have control over is how we respond. We can choose how we respond to these things that happen to us in our life, whether it's something as big as student loan forgiveness at a federal level, or just something in our everyday life that just is unfair. We feel is unfair to us. So choosing how we respond, that's what you can control. So focus on what you can control, and that's where you will have your most power, and that's where your energy is best spent on the things that you can control, rather on the circumstances that you can. You can always have control over yourself and how you respond and how you think, and shifting your perspective and your mindset about things. So one thing I want to point out is that just because somebody that it's a bit in a scarcity mindset to think that just because somebody else is getting something, that is taking something away from you, right? So there's enough for everybody. What's meant for you is still going to be meant for you. So somebody else winning does not make you lose. Okay, so wanting somebody to quote suffer the way you suffered is not beneficial. Where's that coming from? That's what I would do. Some self reflection. Why do you feel like they have to quote suffer the way that you suffered? Just in general, I mean, I want the best for people, and so like if somebody can get something and make there something that makes their life a little bit easier, even if I didn't receive it, I'm happy that they're able to receive that. So just do a little self check there. If you feel like somebody else needs to suffer the way you suffered or go through what you went through, almost like to validate your own experience, where is that coming from, and what's driving those feelings, driving that for you to feel that way? Okay. The other thing I want to point out is that you grow through what you go through, right? So, like, yes, it may have been hard for you to pay off your student loans, or you had to sacrifice some things, or you had to practice a lot of discipline, but those are things that actually you helped you to grow into the person you are now. So, would you have rather, like, maybe not have gone through that or had to go through that? Sure. I mean, I understand that, but it still helps you to become the person that you are now. You still had to have that grit and perseverance and discipline to actually pay those loans off, or to make that progress that you made, or do whatever it was that you did, because this really applies to more than just student loan forgiveness. Okay, this is just kind of a perspective to have on life and different things that happen with you. And so, like, take that experience, like, and whatever you learned or whoever you became and whatever character you develop during that process, you can then apply that to other areas of your life. It's not wasted. Okay. And so just keep that in mind, that your journey is yours. If that was what was meant to happen on your journey, just have gratitude for that, and take away the lesson that you have, the growth that you gained, and know that and you are better, and it was part of your journey and what you had to go through, and you are better for it. And it's equipped you for something that you may not even know is coming. That help, those skills, that mindset, that discipline, whatever was developed during that time, is something that will serve you well in some other area of your life. Okay, so just embrace that as part of what you were supposed to do and what you needed to go through to get where you are. And so the other thing is just being grateful for that you were able to actually pay this off. I mean, for a lot of people, this $10,000 or $20,000 is, I mean, obviously thankful for it to come, but they still have a huge mountain to climb, as far as if they have six figures of student loan debt, which is not that uncommon for people who have like advanced degrees and stuff, y'all. That's It's not that uncommon. So you getting 20,000 or 10 or 20,000 forgiven, that's great, but they still have a long journey ahead of getting that paid off. So just be grateful that you were able to pay your loans off. You were able to not have student loans or whatever it is. Um, having gratitude for that, I think is a much better use of your time rather than worrying about what somebody else got that you didn't get. Focus on what you can do now and the progress that you're trying to make. And if you think about what you were able to do once you got that debt paid off and debt eliminated, it freed up your money to be able to do so many other things that you have benefited from since that time. Where somebody who still has had the burden of student loans has not been able to do that and make that same progress. So again, anytime you're feeling, I'm not saying, actually, I'm not saying to not feel these things. It's okay to feel disappointed. It's okay to feel resentment. It's okay to feel those things, but I'm just saying don't stay there, okay? Because like it's not productive. It's not a productive use of your time, and it will be better spent on doing things to really continue to move yourself forward, to and to appreciate. Gratitude will take you to a place of appreciating that you were able to do it in the first place. Okay. So hopefully this just gives you something to think about. Like I said, because this student loan forgiveness is the context I'm using this in because that's something recent that has happened. But this is really, there will always be unfair things happening in your life. And so the more you can learn to manage your thoughts and your emotions and things around it, and instead of focusing on things that are not productive and focusing on things that you can control and that actually continue to move you forward, the better your time will be spent doing those things. Okay. All right. I'll talk to you guys next time.